Welcome back, y'all. What's good? Once again, we back with another episode of Straight from the Chair. It's your boy, Marcus M. Murray, Sr., the barber with the bow tie.
And I'm Brice Davis of Brice Davis Media.
Hey, and as always, we're here at Icon's Barber Salon, 313 Beauty Supply, 125 North Allison Avenue, Xenia, Ohio. Man, I love Xenia. The only thing I hate is it's almost winter time.
Man,
I don't know nothing about fall, man. I don't think we have a real fall period. It goes from
summer into winter.
Simple as
ain't
that.
No spring, fall. It's just hot or cold.
Man, I don't believe people with melanin should age in cold weather. You know, I hear brothers like Yaki Awake say that.
Yeah.
You know, we need to be in sun-enriched areas. We probably need to be in Arizona in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
Man, what's good, though?
Oh, man, you see it. Trying to stay warm out in these streets.
Man, listen.
And coldness. I be seeing some of y'all with the lips looking all crazy, crusty. And
listen, and I forgot my
chapstick.
Harsh. I forgot my chapstick.
You get to talking too much, it's over.
Hey, I heard somebody say back in the day, it's cold out there. You got to supply your own heat.
Man.
So don't be expecting nobody to give you no handout.
And don't be using the oven either, because that'll burn your house down.
No, don't use a gas oven. If you got an electric oven, that might be something different.
I'm just going to say ovens in general, but I don't know nothing about an electric oven.
Huh?
I don't know nothing about electric oven.
Yeah.
Never had one of those.
Oh, yeah. I moved into this place and it has an electric oven. And I'm a cook. So, you know, gas is always good, but we make it do what it do. Hey, so first of all, this past week was the Central State University homecoming week. But, you know, one thing I got to say, shout out to the mad men of the Marauder football team, man. Them boys are some hard-playing young men, and they're on their way. You know, they got a hell of a coaching staff. Most of them have been in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. Next time I talk about them, I'm going to have some names for you. But the homecoming was a nice situation. It was good to see old friends. I was a vendor there selling smash burgers and fries, man, and it was a good situation. Hey, I got a chance to watch the podcast last week that we did with Brianna. What do you think about it, man?
I thought it was cool. Yeah. I liked it.
Anything that stood out to you?
I can say that.
Other than the brothers and sisters?
But she was intelligent. Like, she was not the, like, you know how you judge people based off their appearance?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you thought she was going to be a little ratchet or something?
A little bit.
Right,
I wasn't expecting what we got.
She got it in there.
Oh, I'm sure, but
no, yeah.
At least how she displayed herself, like, I thought that was cool. And, you know, being transparent, that was another thing, because sometimes people get on here and they might not want to speak on situations because they might be thinking, oh, people that know me think I'm talking about them or this, that, and the third, and she didn't really care. So, you know.
Right. Be careful now. That's Sashay back there, y'all. She is a new addition to the family. She's from my home state of California. You might get to know her. But yeah, no, Brianna, man, she has come a long way, yo. She very intelligent young lady, very, very goal-oriented. You know what I mean? And that's the era now. Like, these women, they are taking charge of themselves, man, and they are making life happen for themselves. And, you know, I give them credit. We need to get these brothers together, man. You know what I mean? So they can be a compliment to these women. But, yeah, I can't wait for her new batch of wine to come out, man.
I still got to try some.
Yeah.
I still had to enchant it.
It's, enchanted, man. It's spelled the way it sounded. It ain't no,
not like we did with the duh.
Right. Listen, it's a nice flavor. I'm not a wine per se drinker. It's a nice taste, man. I'm gonna throw some tequila in it anyway.
Oh man.
But yeah.
There was definitely a rise of what they call the boss girl era, or not era, but the boss girl thing.
Right.
I think we're definitely gonna start seeing more of that, independent entrepreneurs and things of that nature.
Yeah, man. I follow. You know, I was just about to say I follow a couple of female podcasters, man, and their influence is changing the game. It's Tay Tay, baby. I like her. She talks about social issues, and she's a pretty face. You got any favorite podcasts?
Oh man, my favorite podcast. I gotta say, I listen to the Joe Budden podcast the most. Okay. Now I can't listen to the whole episode because the episodes be 1-2 hours long. But when I'm eating dinner, that's when I digest Joe's podcast. So I'll get about 20-30 minutes in per episode, if I'm being honest with you.
Right.
Lately, I ain't really been listening to podcasts like before. Like, you got your Drink Champs, like the entertaining ones. I listen to that. But for the most part, lately, I ain't been tuned in.
Right. The older I get, the more I try to gain some wisdom. But
Modern Wisdom, not to cut you off, but that's my favorite podcast. It's called Modern Wisdom with Chris Williamson. It's a white guy.
Okay.
But like he interviews people and they talk about he interviews people that specialize in things. It's not just random people.
Right.
So like they get straight to it. Like as soon as this pod starts, it starts off with a question.
Send me a link.
Like they get straight to it. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. I watched 19 Keys. Shout out to 19 Keys.
Definitely. I seen he's coming to Columbus in that clip.
Yeah,
man.
I'm gonna try to check him out, man.
Right, see what we can do about that one.
Right. Like he got so much knowledge, I don't even really know what to do with that shit. You feel me? Like you gotta snidbits.
That's why you gotta keep digesting it, because I'll listen to a lecture while I'm driving, and I can only retain so much from an hour. That's why you gotta just keep staying with it.
Right. You do gotta play it.
We got so much microwavable content, especially with things like TikTok, that I think it cooks your brain in the long run.
Right.
So I don't even want my own kid listening to too much TikTok. Well, I had no TikTok at all, but
Right.
Show everything.
I mean, but TikTok, man, it's a gift and a curse for real, because I learned a lot of stuff on TikTok, life hacks, that kind of thing.
I think that's such a minuscule percent of people, though. Like, it's such a small percent of us that actually watch things on TikTok that makes us better.
Right.
For the most part, we're just watching people fall, do dumb shit, just whatever, to get some views to go viral. Like, we know that that's usually the format. So, like, I think overall, like, when they was banning TikTok, if it was up to me, I didn't care how it happened.
Right.
I was about to say, go ahead and ban it, but, I didn't lean either way for real.
Right. I didn't, it wouldn't have mattered to me whether they kept it or lost it. You know what I mean? If I have time to watch podcasts, I like to watch things that I'm interested in, Earn Your Leisure, man. Those brothers are off the chain with their knowledge, and the guests they have are black people making it happen that you wouldn't even expect are doing what they're doing. Check out Earn Your Leisure when you want to learn more about your money and investing, that kind of thing. It's a live situation. Bruh, there's so much going on, man. I'm in a new relationship.
Okay, then.
I mean, I guess it ain't new. It's a year old, 2 years old, but it's with a friend that I've been knowing for 30 years. So, but we've not been on this level, and sometimes women get on my nerve. You know what I mean?
Don't they all?
Women get on my nerve, bruh. But it's not in a shut up talking to me kind of way. It's just like, I've come to the conclusion that as a man, you have to stand your ground. We define the word hard, you know what I mean? And that's what a man is. A man is hard. I seen this podcast. I'm going to pose this question. I think I sent it to you. It's a young brother, man. I don't know who he was. He looked pretty flashy, but did I send it to you? He was talking about his 94-year-old daddy. He said, my 94-year-old daddy told me that I was a good guy. And a nice guy. And he told me that you don't have to be a nice guy to be a good guy. He said, see, a nice guy won't fight for his peace. You know what I mean? A good guy, will do right by everybody, do right by himself, his family. But when he stands on what he stands on, won't necessarily make him a nice guy. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling like that. Like, I'm feeling like it doesn't take being a nice guy to be a good guy. What do you think?
Yeah, I want to touch on that a little bit more, because we spoke on it a little bit on the last part about it. it's like, I had mentioned that nice guys aren't respected, like, especially with women, because their intentions are indirect. That's why they'll play the friend zone, bro, because they're trying to manipulate their way into the box instead of being more stand up about it or letting it be known, like, yeah, I do find you attractive, but it's like, oh yeah, if I say that, she might veer away from me, so let me pretend to be just cool with her and wait for them vulnerable moments. And it's like, nah, that's why we don't respect that. And, being nice, that's a people pleaser. That's like you put everybody else above you. You don't even put yourself first. Like, you trying to make everybody else happy. And ain't nobody trying to do all that. Like, nobody respects somebody that would do something like that. Like,
and honestly, a yes man type situation, I really believe that. Ain't nobody gonna respect that.
You ever kicked it with somebody and you got to second guess what they really want to do or how they answer because you know that whatever you want to do, bro, is like, what?
Right.
Like, nah, what you trying to do? Like,
right. What you want to do?
Yeah. That only pertains to women when they're indecisive about food. Like, you got to expect them to say, I don't know on that.
Oh, yeah. My lady's always like, she never knows what she wants to eat.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, so that's the only time you got to kind of just take charge and be like, all right, well, you don't say nothing then. I can eat chicken every day. Right. I'm trying not to, so, don't let me be that decision maker.
Right. Yeah, nah, man, that's real. Yeah. But my point for bringing up the good guy, nice guy, is because I think even when you are creating something, let's say working out. We're going to take working out, for example, because it's the most maybe relatable metaphor. But the people that work out know it and the people that don't work out know it because of this. When you're sculpting your body, that shit hurts. Like when you do push-ups enough to form a chest and back and that horseshoe, that hurts. When you do squats and you're lifting so much weight to where you grow your quads and your hams, that hurts. You know what I mean? When you're lifting to build your back and your shoulders, that hurts. But the work is worth the reward. Who is willing to do the work? Most of us don't because the shit hurts. So I relate that to relationships. And when a man is building his house, when you're building your house, you got to hammer some shit. You got to drill some shit. You got to screw some shit. You got to glue some shit. A wall might fall on your ass because you turned around too fast. You know what I mean? You might stump your toe on a nail that you didn't screw all the way in. Do you burn the house down? Or do you dot your I's and cross your T's? Do you become a little more thorough in building, in your construction, to make sure the house that you're building is a solid foundation and it's not going to collapse on top of you? That shit is hard work. And that's the way I see it I see a relationship. It's been a long time since I really just had to hold myself. Well, I mean, I'm always holding myself accountable, but when you have to be an upfront, real-time example to other people and then hold them accountable too, it can be a weight. You know what I mean? And you're a dad. You have to be an example for your daughter. You have to show her you're building your house with her. Sometimes you got to spank her when you don't want to. And you've even talked about, man, I ain't gonna spank her no more. You know what I mean? Because it just made me feel a certain kind of way. But sometimes she might cross that line where you might have to get over here and tell you.
Oh yeah, I'm more of a shoulder jerk, like tight on the shoulder.
Right.
Yeah, that usually works for me.
Right.
That's been more my go-to. But that's like when you're in public.
Right.
Yeah, emergency fix. Yeah, I'll say it like that, a good old fix.
Right. So, it definitely shapes you as you shape your house, man. A lot of times when you are forming your relationship, you get into arguments and I won't even say arguments, just debated discussions, because a person, it's not easy to change. You know what I mean? On both ends.
Yeah. So now I would relate that to when do you know when it's time to burn the house down, stick in the house, keep building, or abandon the house. Like, I think for men, I think we tend to stick to it more, and you know, I can't say how women think, but
I think I don't know. I would say the other way around. I say men, we have the ability to stick through it, but we have so many options we don't have to. Women, they are going to stick through it because they're used to drama. I feel like women need a little bit of bullshit in their life to keep them,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Functioning somehow. I don't know. Tap in. Let me know if y'all feel the same way. But I feel like women need drama until they've had so much disruption where they really know what peace is. You know what I mean? A lot of women don't know. A lot of us don't know what peace is, period. But because of the dynamics, you know, that's why mental health is real. Like, and a lot of, especially women of color, are suffering from that. Men too. But I feel like women, you know, they'll stick in it a little longer than a man because a man is already gonna have a couple on the side anyway. Real talk.
Yeah, I think it boils
what I mean?
down to your options. You know, as far as serious options, I don't know if they have as many. I think it depends on if you're survived off what they say love versus survival. And you know, if you're raised off of survival, then yeah, you're going to survive through life and deal with bullshit that you shouldn't be dealing with.
Right.
Versus if you're not used to bullshit and bullshit come up, I think you're more prone to want to be out of it. I think we're all like can be wired that way.
Right.
You know, I don't think it's above any of us, but
right. Cultural norms would show when a man really sees himself with a woman. I don't like to use the word love because I don't believe anybody really knows what it is. Like, especially if you're not someone who doesn't operate off of a divine connection. You know what I mean? Like, love is just carnal.
A lot of it's just a lust.
Right.
Like, we just lust after people.
Right, right. So I try not to use that word because when it's tested is when you know what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what gold is until you put that shit in the fire and you boil that shit and get it hot. You know what I mean? You don't know how pure that shit is until you get hot. Like, that's how they clean gold. It's called, the Bible says dross. You know, you get it so hot that it burns off the GROSS. Dross. That's the dirt that's in the impurities that's in gold, according to biblical terms. I don't know what they use now to say it, but yeah, you got to get that shit so hot that it burns out all of that and it's just pure gold. And that's how you know whether or not a relationship is love, I think, because you make it through the bullshit. Like, you actually grow together, you burn off the impurities and you become pure. And I believe that, you know, you can have that with more than one woman. I do. Right. Ain't nobody talking to you. Ain't nobody talking to you. But that's another conversation for real. But you know, so yeah, man, like, I don't know what people think love is. Most people's ideal of love is selfish. And that's why I kind of brought up the whole topic of standing your ground and building your house, because it's gonna be a lot of emotions flaring. And a lot of times, you know, you gotta make sure you don't say shit you don't mean because you're mad, because it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna come back. And two, you gotta stay the course. Like, what is the purpose? The purpose is building the house is to build a foundation to where you can grow your family and grow your wealth. That's your house. You know what I mean? So whatever your house looks like, whether your house is monogamous or you're not, your house is polyamorous. You know what I mean? And I'm specifically speaking of a man, one man, multiple wives, you know. But you build your house to secure your family wealth, you know, to secure your family foundation. And sometimes it's going to take some head bumping to develop the peace that's needed to be successful in that. You know, I'm not from here. I'm from LA, but I live here and this has become my home. And I want to promote this place, man. I always talk about how Xenia kind of saved a lot of people coming from these big cities to these universities to get to define themselves, man. Shout out to Xenia, Ohio. I'm gonna find out. We're gonna do some history on Xenia, man. I want to find out who started it. I heard black settlers started Xenia. Do you know anything about that?
not started. I'm not familiar with that history.
Right.
But I do know about like East High School and, you know, how the east side of town was where we settled at.
Right.
I don't know the history of why there and whatnot, but I'm sure we could find out.
Maybe yeah, man. We're gonna do some history on Xenia, and we're gonna tap y'all into the culture. It's a quiet culture, man. Xenia is a quiet town with big sports energy, man. They love football, go Bucks. They love soccer. You know, they love rugby and lacrosse. Like that's what's popping out here in Xenia.
I don't know about that. Oh, I mean, you might run across some people.
Oh yeah, I got clients, man. They play They play right across the street in the Xenia High School football field all year round, man. Xenia is a place where you can retire and grow a family at the same time.
Yeah, I consider it more like a retirement community.
Yeah,
like it's quiet. Ain't a whole lot going on as far as bullshit. I mean, bullshit happens everywhere.
Everywhere, right?
Yeah, I hate when people say, "Oh, it's becoming like this and that city," and it's like, "Yo, one person got shot." Like within the past 5 months, like,
and it was
like calm down.
And it was two brothers. It wasn't even like a neighborhood thing.
I hate when people do that. Like, oh, we're becoming like Chicago and New York. I'm like, yo, it's one bad thing happened. Like, yo, stop it, cut it out.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, you'll find somebody got a bullet in their ass around here every now and then, but the police chief is a black man. Maybe we could get him on. Who knows if we got that kind of clout, but we gonna test the waters. You know, the sheriffs are pretty decent people, man. Like I had a situation where we're growing our food truck business and we were setting up in front of the African American Museum, National African American Museum up next door to Central. Had a little grease spill that I didn't clean up fast enough, man, and they came down on us hard like Thor's hammer. You hear me? Like they came down on us. So now they're trying to prosecute us for criminal trespassing.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, it ain't no signs on the premise that says no trespassing. I mean, maybe I should have got permission, but I didn't know I needed to. You know, you live and you learn, but you would think that black folks wouldn't treat a small developing black business like that, man. You know, but it's crazy. So I bring that up because the sheriff that's over the case, the way he handling it, man, Sheriff Brown, man, we appreciate you. Maybe we can get you on. But the way he's handling, man, he was respectful. They came to the door, approached me and told me what the situation was before he even filed the claim, you know. He told me what to be prepared for. He told me everything that was said between him and the quote unquote accusers. Yeah. And you know, it's always something going on, man. But we live an exciting life here in Xenia. And you know, we're just trying to bring the city a little something that it didn't have, both for the college students and for the young kids around here. Hey, real quick, is how often do you challenge yourself?
In any kind of way. Myself?
In any kind of way.
How often?
Right.
I mean, I don't know how you gauge that, but
right.
I would say I do to some capacity. Not as much as I would like. You know what I mean? Like, I could say that. Like, I wish I had challenged myself more.
How do you know you're not challenging yourself?
By doing the same thing over. Comfortability. Sticking in comfort, not growing because of it. Like, us having a guest on. Right. I've been wanting to do that. I was always unsure how that would look. So that was a challenging thought in my mind. How can I fit 3 people in one shot? Things that nobody else would really have to think about. But for me, it's like, yo, if we recording for a good 30-hour, however long, right, I gotta make sure that shit look good.
Right,
so that's a challenge. Like, it ain't just, as we get comfortable just us two recording. We did that for 20 plus episodes. So
right.
You know, that's challenging to me, but it's a challenge that's necessary. I would say, yeah, challenges that are necessary. I don't know about unnecessary challenges. That's like going against somebody's word just to be a contrarian.
Right.
Nobody likes those. At least I don't.
I was just talking to one of my my frat brothers, man, and he moved to a new town and he moved to a new state. He's from Ohio, small town in Ohio, and he's living in Texas, Austin. He's teaching out there, and he's telling me about all the Spanish kids that don't even speak English. And I suggested, humorously, like, you will be speaking Spanish by the end of the year. And he was like, no doubt. Like, I got to rise to the occasion. He's like, I can't just be here and not be able to relate to my students, regardless of what their language is. I was like, yeah, that's a way to challenge yourself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's showing some compassion too, because you could just throw a rat hat on and say, "Yo, we in America, so you speak American."
Right?
It's like, yo, be realistic. Like,
You
I ain't
speak
gonna
American.
get nobody nowhere.
That's funny.
Man.
I think we should all be about challenging ourselves mentally, physically, you know what I mean, spiritually. Because, that's how we grow, man.
Yeah, get out your comfort zone.
Right.
They say what, a fish only grows as big as the water you put it in.
Right. I think an alligator's the same way.
Yeah, so people's the same way. I don't know, but I don't think you can really, like, if you're on the grind and you're trying to come up, based off my experience, I don't know if you can do it on your own and be like, oh yeah, everybody around me, they ain't on shit, but I'm gonna make it still. Right. Like, I think that's a reality for most people, but you still gotta have like some motivating, whether it's family, some close friend to give you pushback, to challenge you, to, you gotta get that from somewhere.
Right.
I don't think you can just be around a bunch of,
I didn't come from that. Like, I didn't come from a family. Everybody just worked. There wasn't nobody really educated in a formal sense. You know what I mean?
It was even cool, like, in high school, if you think about it, like, going to college, it sounded cool for the wrong reasons, but, like, being immature, it wasn't even cool to, like, want higher education. And then once you get older, you start looking at people that didn't get higher education. I'm not saying, don't take that the wrong way, but, it's like, it's not cool to say that, I didn't even try to go to college, or I didn't even try to better myself. It starts sounding a little different. Right. But that's what maturity brings,
Well, bro, as always, it's always a pleasure to holler at these people, and we're going to keep these topics coming, keep the chair hot. And the goal for 26 is to bring people that influence the community. That's what we're about. We're about influencing the community,